So today I'm going to inform you a little on the Schengen Agreement and whether or not it should exist. So, what is Schengen? The Schengen Agreement abolished international borders, enabling passport-free movement between a large number of European countries. Where did it start? Before there was any talk of a Schengen Agreement in the EU, the Benelux countries, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands had already established a common passport area in 1970. After protests by truck drivers upset by border crossing delays between France and Germany, the two countries signed a bilateral agreement in 1984 to eliminate controls along their common boundary. Then, on June 14, 1985, France, Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands met in a little town of Schengen in Luxembourg to sign the Schengen Agreement. The agreement called for the elimination of all passport and other checks between participating countries and established a single external border. But the Schengen area was viewed as a sort of laboratory, testing the creation of a common passport area before expanding Schengen to the entire EU. In addition, the 1990 Schengen Convention also created the Schengen Information System, SIS, but I'll talk more about that later. Other countries soon signed onto Schengen, beginning with Italy in 1990, Portugal in 1991, Spain in 1992, Austria in 1995, and Finland, Sweden, and Denmark in 1996. Norway and Iceland had long been part of a Nordic passport union with Finland, Sweden, and Denmark. So, although neither Norway nor Iceland is a member of the EU, both joined the Schengen area in 1996 to preserve this union. To be able to join the Schengen, and before EU countries can eliminate internal border controls, they must implement the data exchange and information systems necessary to participate in Schengen, and they must prove they can effectively police their borders. They must also have economic opportunity, low irregular migration levels, and lower security threats. The United Kingdom initially opted out of the Schengen Agreement because they rather maintain their own national borders. Ireland followed the UK as to maintain its common travel area with the UK. However, the UK and Ireland do participate in some aspects of Schengen, including the Schengen Information System. Also, under Schengen, countries can re-establish their national border checks for a short period of time if it is necessary for national security. For example, Portugal re-established frontier controls in the summer of 2004 during the European Football Championship in expectation of large flows of tourists. Later, in Schengen II, the European Council issued the development of SIS2. Finally, Schengen III was created and called for high importance on security. There are many upsides to the Schengen Agreement, one of which is that it provides easier movement of people throughout the Schengen area. This makes traveling for foreigners and citizens much simpler. Most airports in the Schengen area are split to create one terminal for those traveling within the Schengen area and another for those traveling to or from outside countries. Also, trains have not been required to stop at borders between Schengen countries for passport inspections. Justice Commissioner Viviane Reding told students in Belgium last year, "Today, as European citizens, you can travel 3,000 kilometers across Europe without once stopping at a border." The Schengen Agreement also created a safer environment for the people with the creation of SIS. The Schengen Information System is an international computerized database that allows countries to store and share information on criminals, those under surveillance by state security agencies, and more. Barbara Kudryka, who is a vice chair of Parliament's Civil Liberties, Justice and Home Affairs Committee, said that the SIS makes it possible to engage in secret surveillance of criminals and terrorists when necessary, and that these tools could be used more proactively. The Schengen Agreement also reduces the time to move goods between countries. There aren't any border delays, so trucks carrying goods can move freely between countries. In addition, Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel has warned against meddling with freedom of movement in the EU. There are also many cons that come with the Schengen Agreement. For one, UK Prime Minister David Cameron plans to propose limits to EU migration before Christmas. There is a possibility for overpopulation. More than 14 million EU citizens are resident in another member state, which is about 2.8% of the total EU population. UK Home Secretary Theresa May says free movement of workers must not lead to mass migration, and she wants to change the rules at EU level. Many people also move because of their money situation. There is a big gap in average wages between countries. In 2012, company employees in Romania got an average €4,004 annually. These citizens naturally went to move to other countries where the wages are much higher. For example, the average pay in Germany was €26,925. Who wouldn't want to go there? Finally, there is a major problem with illegal immigration because of the lenient train and airport policies. For example, in 2011, Frontex, which is an agency set up to help control the EU's external borders, detected more than 55,000 illegal immigrants in Greece's Euros border region, which is the main entry point into the EU for migrants from Asia. That was a 17% increase compared with 2010. So, what do I think? I think that the Schengen Agreement should exist, but since the most prominent challenge is the migration, I think that if the SIS or Frontex senses that a country has overpopulation or has a problem with illegal immigration, then that country will have free will to change its policies regarding the free movement into the country. Thank you.